check out my t-shirt. I'm not sure if you can actually see the text. It says, "Do you like worms?" And in the back there is some lyrics, but I'm not sure if they are actually printed or written correctly, so I'm not gonna show them to you, but it's the Hawaiian part. I printed this myself about 10 years ago, and I just found it from my endless closet filled with t-shirts. But anyway, this video is not about this shirt or any other shirt. It's about the unreleased album Adult Child by the Beach Boys and the inevitable release of it. We are living interesting times as Beach Boys fans because of the copyright laws and stuff. A lot of unreleased music has been officially finally released during these past, 10 years or so, gradually, kind of like by the year, as the material closes in on the 50th year of its recording date. I believe it has something to do with the European copyright laws, but I'm not I don't really understand those, but I'm just happy that it's happening and that we are living this sort of, it's a sort of new wave of Beach Boys fandom, and I think it's just growing. The wave is growing bigger and bigger, and I love that. I think it's a good time to be a Beach Boys fan. And in the past few years we've got the Feel Flows box set, which was a big one. And then we got the Sail On Sailor box set, which came out 2 years ago, I believe, yeah, 2022. Last year we didn't get anything. Or did we go? I don't know, maybe we got the Sounds of Summer box set, I'm not sure. But anyway, like, that was it. And this year there has not been any news of any physical, or like any release by the Beach Boys. We are gonna get the Disney documentary finally in just a few weeks. I'm getting super excited about that, and we just got the Beach Boys by the Beach Boys book, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But the Adult Child album, inevitably, it's gonna see officially the light of day. It's just gonna happen, trust me. When? Well, we don't know yet, but I bet we're gonna see the release of it in a few years. Why? Well, as I mentioned, the copyright laws, and the album was recorded, I believe, mostly in '77. Excluding a few tracks which are Games You Can Play and Help Is On The Way, which were both released already on the Feel Flows box set and have been released already with the Good Vibrations set and so on. And they were leftovers from the Sunflower sessions. But anyway, like, otherwise I believe most of the tracks were written and recorded 76, 77. And basically after Love You. And well, I don't think we are going to have to wait until 2027-ish till we get it. I think most likely, I don't know, next year. It kind of sounds right to me, 2025. I think that's probably gonna be the year we're gonna see Adult Child. Don't quote me on this one, but I just think that's a great year to celebrate. It's an even number, and I think it's a great way to celebrate the Brian's Back era of the group. And there are many different ways they could approach this. Well, who knows, maybe we'll get this already this year, but I doubt it. I was really hoping for the live material from the early 70s era to see the light of day last year already, but we didn't get anything really. And well, there's still time this year too, but I would love a full-on deluxe set. Basically, like, just release the shows, like all these shows, in the way that they put out the Carnegie Hall show in the Sail On Sailor set. Just, I don't know, do it like the, is it like Nugs or whatever is that site that you can order Springsteen shows. I think Springsteen probably has a different site, but like Dead and Company and stuff. Anyway, there are these sites that you can choose a date of a concert, like, I don't know, from the 70s or 2000s or whatever, by a group, and they basically have like all the shows there, and they print that copy for you by your order. And I think Beach Boys really should do something like that. People will eat that up, really. Anyway, if nothing else, just put it out digitally even. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked once again. Adult child. There are multiple ways that they could basically approach this. They could include it as a part of that sort of big set titled Brian's Back. I think that's a no-brainer. That's gotta be the title. Or something in that way. Marketing that stuff with Brian's name would be the best call. And it's a super interesting era for the group. And personally, probably my second favorite era. To me personally, I love the stuff that they recorded during that time, and there's a lot of unreleased stuff in the vaults that I really love. I think it was I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, somebody booted, it got leaked in high quality, basically outtakes for 15 big ones, so a lot of those covers that didn't end up on the album, and some originals too, like We Got a Groove, which for the longest time I thought it was just that sort of that tag part that we got a groove, but there's actually just like a full verse with Mike's vocals and stuff. It's actually super cool. So anyway, like there's a lot of cool outtakes from that period, and there must be interesting ways, like outtakes of Love You too, which I've never heard, and you know, like just to hear different mixes. And I'm not talking about mixing stuff in the way that they did Let Us Go On This Way on the Sounds of Summer box set, which was horrendous, but I mean just maybe if there's like parts that were mixed way down originally, bring those up maybe if they are cool. Like if there are some cool things that were left out, maybe do some alternate mixes and stuff, because that material is really interesting. The arrangements, especially on the 15 big ones stuff, the production and arrangements are very rich and lush, so I think there's a lot of opportunities there. And Adult Child follows a very similar path, kind of combining the sound of 15 big ones with Love You, but also including a big band section, which is very extraordinary. But anyway, like that's one way. Just attach it to a bigger box like that, but to be honest, I would be kind of disappointed with that, especially if it was done in a sort of, oh, these are just bonus tracks, because I think there's a huge opportunity for the Beach Boys to market Adult Child as Adult Child, like really pump up and, you know, use that hype. There's a lot of young people that really love this album out there, and there's this sort of, oh, not as big a smile, but kind of like this Smile-esque myth surrounding this album, which is in a way, it's very funny, because some ways it doesn't live up to the hype, but a lot of ways, with a lot of tracks, it does. So it is a double-edged sword. But anyway, I think people who know about this album, they have heard the tracks, because they have been booted decades ago already. But well, I think it's a fascinating period. The music that it includes is not for everybody, but if you like Love You, you love this stuff, really. And I think it's, some of the tracks are kind of peak Brian, to me at least. Maybe not lyrically, but musically at least. And the arrangement and the production is super interesting. And I love to listen to these tracks. Now, so I think it would be just a huge missed opportunity to just attach the Adult Child tracks at the end of a 15 Big Ones Love You box set as bonus tracks. I think there's a huge chance over here to build up hype and release Adult Child as a full-on Beach Boys album, like a new album by the Beach Boys. And if somebody from the Beach Boys management is listening to this now, I just want to give you my ideas what this could be, kind of like from marketing perspective. First of all, don't include Hey Little Tomboy, Games 2 Can Play, and Help Is On The Way, mainly because personally I love the Sunflower outtakes. I think they are great, but they have already been released on like I mentioned, Feel Flows and Good Vibrations box set, I believe, and so they have been available now for years. And Hey Little Tomboy was then chosen to be part of MIU album, so that's been released already in '78. So I don't think, and nobody really needs to hear the adult child version in an official release. So I think those three tracks could be replaced with something else from that same era that was left unfinished or unreleased. There are a lot of finished tracks from those same sessions and that same time period that could fit adult child album even better than some random outtakes from Sunflowers. So include something like, I don't know, We Got a Groove, or anything from that same era that has the same sound, same raspy Brian. There's tons of tracks really that you could choose from, but you could kind of like flesh out the album that way a little bit more. Think about the track listing. Let's go through this is not really an adult child review. I'm gonna do that someday, but let's go through with the track list that I know of, at least the track list that I've been this is the way that I've been listening to this album since, I don't know, forever. Life is for the Living, Hey Little Tomboy, Deep Purple, Help Is on the Way, It's Over Now, Everybody Wants to Live, and then side 2 has Shortening Bread, Lines, On Broadway, Games You Can Play, It's Trying to Say, and Still I Dream of It. Well, Shortening Bread was also released later on LA, but that's a completely different version, and I think Shortening Bread is such a, it has this sort of myth, and it has a sort of cult status at this point, so I think that should be included, the adult child version over here. But in my opinion, you could just, dump, cut off Hey Little Tomboy and the Sunflower outtakes, because we've heard them, they are available already in different formats. So, include something else. And with this track selection, the album comes in the length of 30 minutes, 25 seconds. So it's still, it's like a semi, long Beach Boys album, pretty much in the middle section. So it's not like a short album for the Beach Boys, but not long either. So you could even add some tracks to it also. But yeah, I mean, there's just possibilities. But if you do that, I would also prefer if you did not use the bootlegged album covers. I think it would be cool to do something where the Beach Boys usually always failed, which is create an album cover that looks cool, represents the music, and gets you hyped up. There's something for the hardcore fans, but it also would, look cool for a casual listener, somebody who is not a fan already, but might be scrolling album sections or the Beach Boys selection in a store and bump into this and be interested about it. Something like what they did with the Sail on Sailor box set, for example. Choose images from that era, use that, maybe get Dean Torrance, design something cool, era appropriate for that album cover. Don't just do something in Photoshop in 5 seconds. Spend some time with it, or I don't know, maybe call fans. There are great fans who know a lot of graphic design and stuff, so they know this stuff. So create a cool album cover for it, and I don't know, include liner notes and stuff. Do it like properly, really, and I'm sure it will get so much hype, and press would be interested, everybody, because it's a lost Brian Wilson album. Really, it's basically his solo album, including the Beach Boys with P. Carl Wilson, Dennis Wilson with his rich raspy vocals. His vocal delivery on the baseball song is so soulful and soothing. I love that. Al is singing his heart out on it. I can really see it going either way. Don't know, I don't have any insights, obviously, but personally I wish that it would get a proper album, like soul album release. The Adult Child by the Beach Boys out in the stores today. Go and get it. I would love that. I think that's really where it's at. It really has to come out in that way. But even if we just get the tracks added in a box set with 15 big ones and Love You material. I think that's good too, but still I would prefer to have it as Brian intended. I know if you go and cut out the Sunflower outtakes from the album and Tomboy, you're gonna piss off some fans, and probably even me mentioning this is a sacrilege to some people, but yeah, you know, I kind of like what happened with Smile when Smile was booted and people did their own versions of it, and for decades people thought Smile as something, and then Brian did his version and it wasn't what some people thought it would be. You know, when it comes to the like sort of how to arrange the songs and the track listing and stuff. So it's, you know, it's difficult with these unreleased things when kind of fans have been creating this picture, you know, or this soundscape of how it would, you know, feel, and then when it finally sees the light of day and it's a little bit different, it takes time to get used to it. But that's really all I have to say about this right now. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Take care. Bye bye.